How many times did you hear people say, I don't have the time? I need more time. Give me more hours within the day. I heard that a lot of times. I'm sure you had, and probably also from yourself. But time is really objective. You have 24 hours a day, well, including the night. And you cannot get more, you cannot get less. You cannot get rid of 8 hours and say, I only need 16, so here you are. No, you have 24 hours, use it or lose it. But if you, even though you are rich or tall or small or whatever, you cannot buy more hours. You cannot buy 6 hours more. You have 24. And people who are successful have 24 hours. People who are not have 24 hours. So it's more how we spend it, how we prioritize. And a lot of times we spend time on talking about things, thinking about things, struggling with things that are out of our influence. Sometimes farmers, they speak a lot about what? The weather, right? Do they influence the weather? No, not at all. So why talk about the weather if you don't influence it? But what you can do is, where can I be in control? What can I do? When I know how the weather is going to change, I could prepare myself with glass houses or with machines or with what kind of crops I want to grow and whatever, which country where I want to live in and so on. You have some things that you are in, where you're in control, or at least have some influence. That's what the model up here is about, how to spend your time, your focus and your energy. So in the middle you see these are the things I control. This is what comes from inside of me, inside and out. This is where I'm in control, where I can do something differently, I'm in charge. Then you have some subjects or some items where you influence, you have some influence, but it's not you who are in control alone. It could be things on your job you want to change. Why do we have this kind of arrangement about our lunch? Or why is the copying machine not another one? What about the strategy? I think it's stupid, it should be different. You're not in control because it's not you who decide. Maybe it is in real life, but in this example it's not. But you influence it, you can tell it to other people, you can give them your perspective, but don't spend all your time there. See, what can I, within these frames, within these framework, within this context, how can I, where am I in control? Where can I make a difference? And how can I cope within these frames I got? And then you have some subjects where it's totally out of your influence. Now we talked about the weather, but it could be some other items you're not, you don't influence. It could be some of your customers or buying another company. It could be what the competitors are doing. You're not in control, you don't influence it. Well, you influence it in the way you're working, but only by focusing on your own situation. We could see it also as a little bit different. The same circles, it's actually the same pattern, but just a little bit different. We can see we have the circle in here where we're usually in control. If we could call it your comfort zone. This is the green zone. Maybe you heard it with the green zone and the yellow zone and the red zone. So the green zone is your comfort zone. It's where you feel comfortable with what you're doing. You're actually an autopilot because you're unconsciously competent. You know what you're doing, and it doesn't take a lot of effort from you. You are good in this area. And then you suddenly have to change, you suddenly have to become better, you have to do something differently, you have to challenge yourself. Why is that a problem? Well, it is because people don't like to go out here in the, I don't have a yellow, but a yellow zone, we might call it. Because the yellow zone is where you feel a little awkward, I'm not very good at it, maybe you're a little nervous, you're sweating, your palms are sweating, I'm not very good, I'm a new beginner, will people notice, oh, I have some fear of failure, so why should I go there? It could be giving a speech, it could be whatever it is, it could be paragliding, it could be conducting a meeting, it could be a lot of different things. But every time you go out in the yellow zone, which is the only place where you actually change, where you can develop, where you are challenged, It's out here, out of your comfort zone. But not so far out that you're totally blocked and that you are in shock and don't know what to do. That's the red zone. And you have it all outside of here. Things that are too far away from what you are capable of doing at the moment, both physically but also mentally. So if you just go out in the yellow zone, is I can do it, but it really challenges me and I don't feel comfortable about it yet. But when you do it 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 20 times, what happens? Yes, it becomes part of the green zone. So the green zone becomes even bigger. So will the yellow zone then decrease and become smaller? No, it will just move. So what was impossible before is possible now, but challenging. So all the time you move your boundaries and you're an influence. So what was earlier influence is now control, and what was earlier out of your influence is now something you influence. So this is another way to see it, which means spend your focus where you are in control, where you can make a difference, where you have the strength from inside. Some of the things we have inside that we can control but not always do, where we don't take ownership, is: are we loving? Are we happy? Are we curious? Are we playful? Are we giving some energy? All the things we can do from inside, where we can actually turn on the volume and give more and take ownership. We don't always do. Why? Because people give that ownership to other things, other people, blame the weather, blame the government, blame the competitors, blame the top management of these. It's their fault why I'm not happy, why I'm not successful. No, it isn't. Because within the framework you can give your all if you just take charge and take control. You're the master of your own destiny. But if you live out here where you don't have influence, you will feel small. So do you live from inside and out or from outside and in? That's your choice. So choose wisely.